Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking another look here at Solana. As mentioned before, we're going to try to keep this on our radar here daily and totally kicking some serious butt. Look at that. Keeps on going. Hasn't looked back yet. In fact, when we covered this yesterday, we were expecting a pullback to this 0.382 fib level to get a bounce. It just kept going, didn't even bother to pull back. So that's awesome. Congrats again to those who are in profit. I know we got a lot of traders in our community that are. We are actually doing quite well as a community here recently. Took some healthy profits on some other trades, but just keep in mind, again, different strokes for different folks. These are low leverage, low position sizing, and we kind of stay on the safe side with my premium group. So again, if you're part of that, congrats again to all the awesome trades. And if you're not, feel free to consider joining. We do actually have a limited amount of slots available coming up here soon. That said, though, thank you so much for helping us grow our community. We have an amazing Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Thank you again, everyone, for just being part of that, and it just makes my life much better being able to interact with awesome people like you. Thank you. So when it comes to Solana, what we want to talk about here, we've got the Elliott Wave set up here, right? So again, I just got to preface and let you know that this is not a guarantee. The price isn't just going to instantly pull back because we're potentially hitting our top. We haven't topped out yet, so these three things are tentative here, okay? But there is a strong likelihood that the price action will come back down to hit those levels if we do end up having a scenario in which the price action stops going higher. It's an inevitability, it's just a matter of when, okay? I just want to kind of preface and let you know, because some folks kind of look at this and like, oh, it's going down, when the truth is, it could go down and it should go down, but if it doesn't, that's good. Those fib levels are going to keep going up, okay? So once we've hit our top, then we establish that, okay? So is this the top? That's the question we get, or I get this a lot. Now, good thing is, trading typically comes in powers of three, okay? So we see these three white soldiers here. We see three previous white soldiers. That was followed by a red candle. Okay. Now, there's no guarantees that tomorrow's going to be a red candle, but there's a stronger likelihood because we've been 72 hours of continuation in the same direction. Okay. So if you continue to push something, it's eventually going to give you some pull, right? Same thing about trying to hold a balloon underwater or some kind of flotation device. It's eventually going to surface. It's just a matter of time, right? So in this case, we're going to have that reverse effect, where the price is going to come down inevitably at some point. Now, is that soon? Hard to say. And if it does come down tomorrow, it may not be a massive drop. It might just be a small doji candle that prepares for the next leg up. Okay, so just be mindful of that. If you're going to trade tomorrow or short into it, be very careful. We do have a the Fed meeting tomorrow. So I sent this out on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, of course. But just please recognize Wednesday, November 1st, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course 2:30 once he starts going live with his commentary, the market gets really crazy. So trading high leverage, high position sizing into that is not the best fit. Okay, we got a couple of positions open ourselves, 5x leverage, low position size. Okay, we use a small amount of our portfolio, and that's how we survive to trade another day. Please be careful trusting a lot of other folks out there just posting nonstop positivity. Because truth is, we took a loss on Solana fairly recent. In fact, we were trying to short it back here when we were overextended, and it continued going. It happens. It's a very normal part of trading. Please understand that. The key is to make sure it happens less frequently and to make sure your losses are not severe. Okay, so again, conversation for another day. So let's just talk a little bit about this trend line here is probably going to be moving concurrent with the 20-day SMA, which is pretty consistent. So truth is, the 20-day SMA will start to align itself with this as far as parallel is concerned. So you got to recognize that these trend lines here are going to let you know if you're on the right side of the tracks. Right now, shorting in this coin is somewhat treacherous, okay? So albeit overextended, likely due for a correction, still something you want to be careful with, okay? So if you take a look at the RSI, you can see we're cranking here. Money flow index is extremely high. We're looking pretty good. Haven't checked stochastics in a little while. We have another swing, another uptick. The second one is the one you want to trust, not the first. So if you have a divergence, we'll just say we come up here and we start to diverge again, then at that point, that's when you want to consider shorting. Okay? It's a little premature right now. It's always a second swing that is the most beneficial or most consistent. So we're in a position right now, in fact, we'll just leave that on, where we don't need to, we probably shouldn't consider a short position just yet. Probably got a lot more gas left in the tank. Okay? So let's see if this overextension is healthy or ugly or whatever the case, because again, if it's good, it's going to be up over kind of somewhat of a staircase pattern. Okay? So to me, this does look somewhat of a staircase to me, right? It's up and over, consistently consolidating before the next leg up. Healthy amount of consolidation here as well, followed by a leg up that looks somewhat like a pennant pattern that should be due for an increase. Okay? Now, again, none of that's 100%, but patterns have a tendency of repeating themselves, right? So in truth, those patterns are statistically probable for the price to continue higher. And the main reason why is because selling pressure gets weaker and weaker as we go higher. And as volume starts to increase, which we see a massive amount of volume coming into this coin last couple of days, it's going to sustain itself. We have a strong amount of support here at $32. That is the likely bottom. So to me personally, if I'm going to take an entry, I'm going to set an alert here and maybe reevaluate and see if the price crosses this $33 plane, if it's worth getting in there for another long. Okay. Right now, it's too far up for me personally to want to take a long. Spot maybe a different story, but a long position with leverage, it just seems kind of a little too much right now. Okay, again, that's just my personal thoughts, my personal opinion. You can do with it what you will, but generally speaking, careful longing the top, and of course, longing the top is terrible, and careful shorting the bottom. Again, you never truly know where the top and bottom is, right? But this to me feels like we're getting closer to a top. Okay, so taking a look at TD sequential, we can see here we hit a 9 here recently, just 1 4-hour candle ago. Okay, so 4 hours ago we hit a 9. Basically, what that just means we are overextended. You gotta keep in mind this is not the worst overextension ever. Nice little staircase again. Okay, so the truth is it's overextended, but the alternative truth to that is that this is the first round here, basically the first 36 hours that is actually quite healthy with extra volume, that there's more likelihood for the price to continue higher because of it. Okay, so again, shorting into this coin, looking at all these factors here, seems much more risky than waiting for a better long position. Okay, again, you got to recognize short positions are much more carry higher risk because the price can never stop going up. It will stop going down at zero, right? So you think about that, the risk is exponentially worse as the price goes higher to short the coins. So that said, right here, look at the 4-hour time frame with all these things combined, even though it is overextended and hitting 70 on the RSI and above that for some time on both daily and the 4-hour, this coin will likely continue to go until it doesn't. All right, I know that seems fairly redundant, but that's the truth. Okay, good news is a lot of liquidity has been swept, so we don't have any new liquidity levels. There's a chance the price shoots up here and comes back down. We'll have an upper liquidity, and that will probably be reswept before it pulls back. So those are areas I like to look for. Again, I'm more of a patient trader. I don't like to just jump in without good reason, and this coin doesn't have any great reason to want to long or short at this moment, specifically because we are going into a Fed meeting tomorrow as well. All the more reason to just kind of pump the brakes, leave what you got open, adjust your leverage if possible, and to consider lowering that. Last but not least, on the hourly, we can see on the Ichimoku cloud, this is why staircase patterns are so helpful. Lagging span never even comes close to price action. So in turn, we're likely to see the price continue upwards. So once this happens here or this happens here, we don't have any reason to want to short this coin. Okay, so it's still a little early there. So I'm willing to speculate by this time tomorrow. Well, definitely this time tomorrow. Actually, exactly at this time tomorrow, the minutes are everything's going to be out and it's going to be kind of crazy. And we're going to be able to get a good understanding of where the market's going. And at that point, maybe consider taking a trade. Yeah, please be careful because tomorrow's going to look like this. It's going to be a heart monitor and it's going to be a very unsafe setting to trade. So please recognize that. If you're part of my community, you haven't seen a signal yet today, I'm fairly apprehensive about taking a trade, mainly because we have all that stuff going on tomorrow. It's typically best interest to wait it out. Okay? And if you like to take a lot of risk, that's up to you. But again, your risk tolerance, if it's within your wheelhouse and you're willing to lose that money, all good. But if you're trying to actually treat this like a business and do it the right way, that's not the right approach. Now, if you don't know any better, that's okay. But now you know, right? And you should probably consider waiting. All right. Anyways, I'm speaking more so to my community and my followers, of course, if you're new to the channel. Thanks for joining me. Obviously, if you find some benefit, comment below. But I just like to sprinkle in some good advice along the way because I've been trading for over 20 years now. And in that time, I can tell you it's been it's been a good experience in the long run. But at first, I beat my head against the wall trying to force certain things. And there's a lot of things that I made mistakes on. Okay, so no one's perfect. You're never going to be a phenomenal trader, but if you're a good, consistent trader, that's really all it takes. Okay. All right. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Hope you learned something here today. Comment below if you could help us grow our Twitter, Telegram, YouTube groups here. I mean, I can tell you what, it's an interesting thing. So I'm grateful to be able to have the followers I have. So thank you so much. And if you're new, once again, welcome aboard. Look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.